Hi guys, Righteous Raymond here, Dr. Quinn, back again with another video. This one is for those of you who are deliberating on whether or not you should stay in a situation that's kind of unhealthy, kind of toxic, okay? This video is called, It Doesn't Even Have to Be That Bad. It doesn't even have to be that bad, okay, for you to leave, all right? So I have some notes here. I wanted to share a few quotes with you all. The first one is, I will not exist in a relationship, whether platonic or romantic, where I have to beg someone to simply treat me with kindness. I will not exist in a relationship where I have to beg somebody to simply treat me with kindness, okay? I don't even require, you to say, well, he blacked my eye, he busted my lip, he emptied my bank account, he had affairs on me. I don't require all that for you to justify leaving something. If you have to beg to be treated with kindness, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Lauryn Hill said, baby girl, respect is just the minimum. Respect is the bare minimum, okay? You don't even have to talk about, you want him to help pay 50-50, or you want her to help with the children. Just straight up, if respect is not there, that's enough for me to say that you can leave, okay? Now, I know that marriages are complicated. I know that children are complicated. I'm talking about just your regular dating, even if you're engaged, boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm talking about churches, church membership. I'm talking about workplace. Okay, I'm talking about family relationships. If it's not safe for you emotionally, that's enough for me. If you're not safe, that's enough for me to say it's time to create some distance between you and this person. Now, you may come back later. You may say, well, let's, family can't choose your family. God chooses your family, okay? If you're married, you may say, well, Misty, I am very, serious about honoring my vows I made before God and everybody else. And I respect that. But I believe that you can create distance. If you say you cannot leave, you can create distance until respect is brought to the table. Another quote I like, it says, romantic relationships should be your happy place, not where you beg your partner to act right, okay? Romantic relationships should be your happy place, not where you beg your partner to act right. Please stop doing that to me. Please stop rolling your eyes at me. Please stop being sarcastic with me. Steve, please stop being mean to me. Please stop being rude to me. That for the rest of my life, that's a long time. I could live to be 100 years old. That's a long time to be in a weird situation. All right, so for me, you all, I want you all to trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is something that God gave you that got you through your childhood. You're still here. Through your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Sometimes your intuition is something telling you, don't go down that street, or don't answer that call, or don't accept that job, or don't go on that date. But then, sometimes, you're in a relationship and you're like, your intuition says something's not right. This is not safe. This is not good for you. And I want you all, don't wait for the black and eye and the STI and the, all the extra stuff. I'm talking about just that lower register stuff, okay? Not even register on the Richter scale. I'm talking about just that real low stuff, like this weirdness. You come in the house and there's this weird energy, this weirdness. There's this awkwardness. There's this discomfort. There's a distrust. You just don't trust I just don't trust this person. If I got sick and got put in the hospital, I don't trust this person to make the best decisions for me. Distrust and uneasiness, okay? A lack of peace, a lack of joy, all right? If you got confusion, that's a big one, confusion. You just feel confused, like, I don't know, did she like me? Did he like me? I'm confused. I just don't know. You have doubts and questions, tension. Like, do you want that feeling for the rest of your life? Are you comfortable with feeling this weird, have the young people say nowadays, energy, vibe, frequency? Are you okay with that for the rest of your life? If you live to be 100 years old, ask yourself, if he never blacks my eye, if they never curse me out, would I be okay with this energy for the rest? Like, I want y'all to just feel, this is my apartment, okay? I feel 100% peaceful here. I feel so much peace in my apartment. It's so peaceful here. Why would I ever welcome another energy in there to just make it all crazy, okay? It's like, I want you to feel peace. Now, of course, you have small children, it's going to be a lot of chaos, okay? If you have special needs children, if your spouse is, ill, something like that, you're going to have some tension in your house. If you got pets running around, it's going to be some tension. If you're caregiving for an ill loved one or aging parent, it's going to be some tension in your house. But the option of romantic relationships, it's like, I'm not going to be this uneasiness, even if it's never abuse. And like I said in the previous video, I separate ab and use because I don't know, TikTok or YouTube may, trigger my, it may trigger TikTok or YouTube about my video. So I say abuse or abusive or abuser, okay? It doesn't require abuse. Just you don't feel good. You don't feel right. It's just, they just treat you funny. They funny acting. They wishy-washy. They just hot cold. They just, it's weird energy. That's enough for me. All right? And you all, another thing is, you don't need a consensus of people to justify you leaving. You don't need 10 people to say, the evidence that you brought to me, I can say that, yeah, you can leave now. You can leave now. Well, if what you tell me is true, I can see why you can leave. Yeah, you can leave now. You don't need a consortium of people to agree and say it's okay for you to leave now. You know what you go home to every day. You know where you go to work every day. You know where you go to worship every week. You know what you're going through. They don't know what you're going through. Okay? They think, you're in a perfect place. They think your marriage is perfect. They think your relationship is perfect. They think your job, you have a dream job, dream church. Everything is perfect in your life. They have no clue what you go home to and what your mind struggles with every day because of what you're in. Okay? All right? I had this discussion with my little sister. I said, well, what if I'm just shallow? What if I'm just sensitive? She said, well, that's who you are. Accept it. She said, you may be overly shallow. You may be overly sensitive. That's who you are. Accept it. Because I'm going to be shallow and sensitive for the rest of my life. If you have a peanut allergy or you're allergic to cat dander, you will be that way for the rest of your life. Okay? For the most part. So I would not bring cats into my home or eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and just take a bunch of Benadryl or just sit there and itch and scratch and have my eyes watering and my nose running for the rest of my life because, well, it's not the cat's problem. It's not the peanut butter's problem. It's me. I'm the problem. If you're the problem, accept it. Okay, that's who you are. You don't like this certain thing, okay? I talked to a married couple. They're married for like 20-some years. The husband told me, he said, find out their temperature. I said, huh? I think he's talking about character flaws. He said, no. Are they hot nature or cold nature? You need to know that. Your spouse may require extreme cold temperatures in the house and in the car, and you may be the kind of person who likes it to be hot all the time. That's going to cause a little tension. Okay? Another person told me he was thinking about proposing to a young lady. He said, I don't know, her work schedule is not working for me. Her work, I got to see my woman at least 8 hours a day. You see what I'm saying? So it don't even have to be a character flaw. It can just simply be your personality, your preference, okay? But you need to honor that I'm sensitive about this. I don't like this. Makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like that, okay? All right? Ask yourself, do you want to be connected to this weird vibe, energy, feeling, tension, discomfort, confusion, questioning, distrust for the rest of your life? Now you may say, well, I can do it. I can do it. I can white knuckle it. I can grin and bear it. I can do it for the rest of my life. Well, here are some things I need you to be aware of. Okay, if you ignore this and go on and get married to this person, stay at this job, commit to this church for the rest of your life, I want you to be aware of some things. You will become calloused. When you're sensitive, when your shoes are too tight, they're some really cute shoes, but they're real tight, you will get calluses on your pinky toe. I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to get calluses on your pinky toe because your skin is going to protect its nerves and its tissue from your desire to wear these shoes that don't fit. They're too tight for you. You're going to have to become numb, okay, to what you're seeing because you are who you are. You're shallow, you're sensitive. You're going to have to become numb to who you really are in order to ignore this thing. You're going to have to gaslight yourself. You're going to have to be in denial for the rest of your life that you're okay with this when you're not. You're going to have to self-medicate to deal with the pain of this person constantly being rude to you, being cruel to you. You may be to depend on chemical substances in order to cope when you're home every night with this person. You're going to probably become bitter and then resentful and maybe even unforgiving because you're so mad at this person for turning out to be the kind of person that they showed you that they were. And you thought they were going to change, but they won't. Okay? You may start backstabbing them and gossiping about them behind their back. And you may even begin to emotionally or physically cheat on them because you're so resentful. Be honest with yourself, you all. It don't have to be that bad. It don't have to be that bad. Thanks for watching, guys. Buy my book on Amazon. Bye.